What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're continuing on with some OEM upgrades for the 22 Tacoma on today's episode. As you'll notice in most cars, there's a door sill protector on the bottom as you open the door. Now, for whatever reason, they don't come on the 3rd gen Tacomas, but Toyota sells an OEM accessory part to solve the issue. These are flexible and get installed by means of adhesive, so it should be relatively simple to install this. Now just remember, there's 2 different part numbers, one for the access cab and another for the double cab, so be sure to get the right one for your truck. Without further ado, let's go ahead and see what these door sill protectors are all about and then get started on the installation. And here's our Toyota OEM sill protectors taken out of the package. Now, if you'll notice, there is a little flap right here on one side of the small one, and on the opposite side of the other piece. Same thing for the long pieces, which is on the driver's side and passenger side. So you got this little flap right here, and you got this little flap right here. So let me go ahead and show you how those are positioned. So let's go ahead and start with the back side. So as you can see, you got this little stopping point right here for this little plastic trim piece. And you see how it slopes upwards. Anyways, there's a front flap that flaps over this little edge right here. And the reason they have that, so I believe this is the position right here for the small piece. So you want to put it into position, and you'll see that the flap faces the back of the truck because of the fact that this little flap right here folds over this edge. Now, if you took the other side, and if you put this in position where the flap is facing the front of the truck, you got this overhang right here, and the way the cab curves upwards, you really can't bend this vinyl piece. So the correct way is to have this little flap facing the rear of the truck, and that way you got the overhang piece that'll just fold over nice and neat, just like so. Now over here on the main driver's side, similar situation. You've got the flap right here facing the front of the truck because of the way that the cab starts to curve upwards. And then you got the front flap that runs all the way from where this latch is at, almost all the way to the front side, and it stops, and that's basically where the cab starts to taper upwards. So that's basically what the driver's side looks like. Let me go ahead and show you on the passenger side. And this is what it's looking like on the passenger side of the truck. So for the rear, flap faces the backside with this little overhang that's gonna come downwards right there. And on the passenger side seat, you want the flap facing forward just like that. And then obviously you want to see the Tacoma letters facing you on both driver's side and passenger side. You're going to see the Toyota emblem facing you on the access cab portion. Now on the passenger side of the truck, this is the orientation for the sill protectors. You got this flap facing the back side of the truck, and you got the overhang flap right here, which is able to bend down. And this is obviously where the cab starts to taper upwards. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this line, and we're gonna line as best we can with the edge of this plastic piece. And for the main passenger side of the truck, here's the orientation of the sill protector. You get the flap facing the front of the truck. As you can see, the cab starts to taper upwards. And you got the overhang flap right here, going from here. And then right here on this plastic trim, this little line right here, I'm gonna try to line best I can this edge with this plastic piece right there. So you basically just kind of line up as best you can. Now it's hard to see with the camera angle. I've basically got it in line right here, and that's what you want. Okay, there's 2 different methods in how to apply these sill protector plates. First method is basically peel the paper from the underside, position it, and stick it in place. It has a lot of risk to it because these pieces are so big, you can get some air bubbles in there and position it crooked. So we're gonna go the wet method here. Now in order to make this solution, you got a 32-ounce bottle. You wanna fill it up to here with water, and then this remaining neck right here, you wanna fill that with 79% rubbing alcohol, and then about 5 to 6 drops of Dawn dish soap, and then we'll go ahead and shake it up. And then we've got the squeegee right here, which will get all the excess liquid out of the sill protector plates. So let's go ahead and mix up the solution right now. Now for the longer strip right here, I learned from the other side that the best method is to go ahead and pull up this plastic piece right here and pull up the weather stripping. So basically I'm gonna grab my fingers underneath right here. I'm gonna gently pull up and you should feel it click. So now that the plastic is now loose, you can go ahead and take this weather strip and just pull it straight up and start going down the line. And then it'll basically expose all the pinch welds on the body right there. And it's basically easier to get this decal right up underneath this thing. And essentially with this method, your weather stripping doesn't get in the way of tucking in this decal. So let's go ahead and pull up this weather stripping right here. And there we have it. Now we've got direct access to this edge right here. And this weather stripping was getting in the way on the other side. Now just remember with the Sill edge protector, you want to align the front edge with this plastic line right there. So we'll go ahead and spray down this painted surface with our solution, spray the back side of our Sill protector, position this thing, squeegee it out, and then let this dry. Thoroughly take a towel, dry this whole surface, including this edge right here, and inside the weather stripping if you get any wetness in there, and we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and take care of this. Okay, both the access cab and the passenger side sill protector plates are installed. Took a little longer than I thought, but we just want to make sure to get this thing right. But as you can see, I pulled up the weather stripping to get better access to the edge of the body right here. As you can see, this is where the pinch welds are at. So in order to put this weather stripping back into place, now as you can see with the weather stripping, you got this groove, and this is basically where the pinch weld sits inside that weather stripping. So basically just start from the edge and work your way forward and just kind of push it down and it'll seat itself. And once the weather stripping has been reseated into place, we'll go ahead and take this plastic piece and basically just snap it back in. You'll hear a few clicks and everything will be put back together. So let's go ahead and take care of this. And here's the finished result of the Toyota OEM sill protector plates. Turned out pretty good. A little bit of a hassle to install, but I made it work pretty well. Just remember, lift up this plastic piece, pull up on this weather stripping, and you'll have a lot more access underneath there to tuck it in. Now watching this from home and seeing that gap right there, saying, oh, it's a bad installation, that's not really the case. I can't show you on camera, but basically the way this cab goes, it basically just dips down and dips back upwards. Let me see if I can show you right there, but that's kind of what happens. That's just basically the characteristic of this cab right here. I guess to have reinforcement for this latch. But if you're looking from above at this angle, you can't see that gap. It is what it is, but that's just the nature of the beast. Let me go ahead and show you the example on the driver's side. A little bit of a similar situation right here. You can see the gaps, but if you're looking from above right there, you can't see any gaps. Essentially the cab just kind of depresses down and then goes back upwards. And this right here is the part number for the access cab. The double cabs will have a different part number. Alrighty, the OEM sill plate protectors are now installed on the 3rd gen Tacoma. I've actually had these installed on for a few weeks, and I've already started to see some scuff marks from my boots while getting in and out of this truck. So it's definitely makes it a worthwhile modification. And as far as pricing is concerned, they were just $36. Not too bad at all, as they turned out to be pretty functional all along. Anyhow, we're just getting started on this build, and hope y'all can tune in for what's next in store for this Tacoma. And if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.